Today we explore Subject 2, Sam Winkler, writer, poetic beast, who knows? But if I may grab my dive box. And since last week, my God, these have gotten a lot worse. But in a moment, my good friend Sam Winkler is going to open this box and he's going to select a movie. And if the ghosts that hold this dive box would also lower it back down real quick, play the sound effect backwards. In addition to Sam selecting a terrible, awful, terrible film that we will love and we will find reasons to love, in addition to this, I have made a single wager. On this dollar, I have written the name of the movie I think he's going to pick, and then I think he's going to do it. But we have not rehearsed this. I really did just call the shot. So let's find out what happens today on Deep Dive.
You're a criminal. This is a crime. Oh, a lot of career killers in here. Oh no. That's barely even a movie. That shouldn't be a movie. It's a much higher number than I expected. This is a good movie. What do you... Oh, how much do I hate you all? We're gonna have some fun.
What is up? Boom!
All right. God, all right. Okay, laugh it up.
It's pretty good.
That's incredible. We know each other too well.
Here we go. What you got?
So, I want to preface this by saying I have seen neither of these movies.
Oh no.
And I called it.
Oh no.
That's incredible. One of them is a Vin Diesel passion project, and that is Vin Diesel's Babylon AD. Going with the theme of post-apocalyptic fiction, Mortdecai.
Oh!
It hurts to hear it out loud.
Yeah,
it really does.
Is this a canonical prequel?
This is based on a novel.
Is it?
Based on the novel entitled Don't Point That Thing at Me.
Oh,
Based on
that's
the
it.
novel.
We're done. That's it.
Okay.
I need to know how this conflagration of people happened.
Yes.
So I'm gonna
So
have to
do we
vote
have
for
a-
Mortdecai.
By
Yes.
unanimous
Yes.
decision.
Unanimous.
Unanimous decision.
Mortdecai.
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 Mortdecai!
What?
I need to frame that dollar.
Yeah.
As you may well know, I am many things.
Narration.
So, I am falling in love with a very surprising aspect of this whole experiment.
Okay.
I am falling in love with having to fall in love with things that are clearly problematic.
All right, so we are watching a movie called Mortdecai. There's a T in it.
What is that title treatment?
Yeah, what is the T? Why is it Mortdecai?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp doing what only Johnny Depp do, which is
Yeah.
the most, the literal most.
He's English, so he has bad teeth.
Yep.
He is very proud of his mustache.
Yes.
This little bit of magic is my mustache.
What?
I actually really enjoy the hustle of this. I think that's what's going to make this a good show, because Mortdecai is, as a human being, very unlikable. So it's sort of finding the angle as to why he is, because I also don't know why anyone would make a protagonist this unlikable. So Johnny Depp is putting on a character performance that I can only describe as Nickelodeon YouTube. Figure out this puzzle.
Yeah,
to
find
get
the
into
golden
next
nugget
room.
and extract it.
And there are many golden nuggets.
The movie as a whole is very, very colorful.
Yes.
And it opens with a really cool fight scene.
Yeah, in a beautiful bar.
Cool,
Whoa.
cool.
Oh.
Okay, Paul Bettany's in this, I am saved.
Jock. Yes. I think Jock will be an overlying theme in this video for being the best.
I mean, Paul Bettany forever. Paul Bettany forever.
So Jock is the best. Jock saves Mortdecai from a deal that's going sour. And all throughout the scene, they've been serving these drinks that are on fire.
Yes.
Which ends up being an important plot point when Jock the bodyguard and the bodyguards of the art buyer, I guess, when they get covered in alcohol and then set on fire, so they're having a fiery fist fight.
Which is great.
It's pretty spectacular. After the deal goes bad, we go back to Mortdecai's house, which is this wonderful, beautiful mansion.
It's a tale of
Oh, I'm so excited to hear
just, you know, financial instability and how that affects a marriage, and perhaps in an effort to try and keep things together, one must grow a mustache.
a mustache. So this is actually more of a plot point than I possibly could have imagined. There is a 5-minute fight scene between he and his wife about how bad this mustache is.
What's that? Just a little something I cooked up whilst you were away, my darling. Don't put that thing at me. I told you.
That was it. That was the book title.
Considerable thought and efforts into this.
Don't wait. Oh my god.
Oh,
Don't put that thing in your mouth.
Thing.
and he is stubborn in a way that, like,
Is relatable.
Every Mortdecai man before me had the same. Why can't I?
he is extremely stubborn in the way that, like, kids are very stubborn. Like, no, but I like this. So we meet his wife, who's Gwyneth Paltrow.
For some reason.
Looks great,
Yes.
very funny. In the few moments that Mortdecai actually lets her speak.
But Gwyneth Paltrow, chops, like
Yes.
like comedy chops. The way she almost vomits every time she has to kiss Johnny Depp,
Yep.
hilarious.
Very good.
Because the movie is saying we don't like him either. Like,
Right.
he is not a hero in the traditional sense. Everyone else in the movie is so likable.
Then we find out there's a big art theft of a Goya. So MI5 is called in to try to investigate because there is a known terrorist who is connected possibly with this art theft. MI5's agent is Ewan McGregor.
For some reason.
I'm gonna solve this movie in one sentence. I just figured it out.
Okay.
Watch this movie as if everyone else on the cast is playing a practical joke on Johnny Depp. Suddenly hilarious in like every way. Because Ewan McGregor clearly does not like him actually.
I am not mad at it. I love Ewan McGregor. I will always love him, and his hair is so
It's
majestic.
pretty good.
It's very good.
Pretty good.
He also doesn't have a mustache. Important point.
Yes.
In this movie, mustaches play a lot. Facial hair is important.
The duality, the presence, and the
Exactly.
absence.
Yeah.
Of money, of art, and of mustaches.
And, you know, morality, but separate matter.
Plot-wise, I have no idea what's going on.
So we meet Ewan McGregor, who's in love with Mortdecai's wife
Yes.
in
It was a great
feels forced.
flashback featuring highly underrated 90s band, the Spin Doctors, and their hit Two Princes.
Wow. No, I did not know that.
Yes!
She pulled that one out.
I believe that Gwyneth Paltrow is probably the art thief.
Oh yeah, by the way, he called that, much like I called that, he called that 4 minutes into the movie. She walked on screen and he's like, she stole the thing. I hope you're right.
God, me too.
I think that's been most of what's happened. Overall, I'm enjoying it.
This is a test.
They've already been talking about betrayal and blackmail a whole lot, and I'm wondering whose son at Lionsgate was kidnapped in order to get this script.
I'm hoping that these characters, once we get more development into them,
We'll call it that.
I think that's what I'm struggling with, is everybody is playing a stereotype.
Easily Jock is the best character, and they're clearly keeping him around. Yep. So I'm in. Wait, Corgi.
Corgi alert! Corgi alert!
Corgi.
There's a corgi.
Oh,
There's a corgi in
at
the
one
movie.
point, there's a dog in it.
Yeah.
But I like this whole thing. I'm actually really excited to go watch more. Oh, the plot thickens, and by that I mean the plot happens.
I remember.
In that it did
Suddenly,
finally.
plot.
Yes, so that was my favorite, the show after Suddenly Susan, Suddenly Plot.
On duty and in charge, thank you very much.
So remember that time you said you were sober?
I was.
So we are continuing to watch Mortdecai.
Mortdecai.
This movie is testing me a little bit, but we are here to be positive and to tell you the value of this movie.
The main issue I'm having with it is I'm actually enjoying it in the moment. There was a beautiful scene of Ewan McGregor saying the word no approximately 37 times.
No. No. No.
And it was hilarious. It got the point across, like there was so much character behind it. And then I kind of forgot that it happened.
It's tonally, it's so hard to follow because you're never really sure what emotion you're supposed to be feeling.
Yep.
But I do sort of like that feeling of not knowing what this movie is saying. Because usually, I don't know if you guys have watched me talk about movies, I generally am like, oh, this movie, I just have no idea.
So my issue with it so far is that it is a forgettable kind of fun, which is not something I've experienced a lot. Like usually fun is like, yeah, I'm gonna remember this forever. And this is not that.
I'm finding it visually entertaining, and it's kind of doing some really interesting things, and wardrobe is fantastic.
Set design, wardrobe, like so here's the thing. The 95% of people that worked on this movie tried extravagantly hard.
Poor things.
There's like the way they wear costumes tells the story. There's so many things in this movie that are that. And I think that is worth exploring. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got that.
Okay.
The costumes are still the most banging.
Yeah. And like location scouting and oh my god, he's literally right there.
I wonder if you could just redub this entire movie, every line, and make it good. Because everything else is great.
It is visually entertaining. Don't ask me what the plot is, though.
Mortdecai is now being chased by various groups of people who believe that he has this painting.
The painting is worth money because it contains a secret bank account of secret Nazi gold, which is only 5 numbers, by the way, which you could guess. There's only 99,999 combinations. You had 70 some years, you could probably figure that out. I don't know. I don't want to be spoil sport, smarty boy, but
No? You know, have you gotten direct deposit? That's a lot to remember. So
can
write
you,
it on the
can
back
you give
of the
me
painting.
the lost Goyer through direct deposit, please?
Yes. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Also, this parallel storyline of his wife doing this parallel investigation.
Who 100% did it.
Is 100%.
100% guilty.
Obviously.
Like, as soon as we started watching the movie again, I was just like, oh, Sam called it. Cool. Okay, we're done now. That's all.
Yeah, she wants the Nazi gold because their family is insolvent. That's completely obvious.
Like, and I guess that's kind of cool. She really wants to take care of him. Great. I'm not sure like how Nazi gold is the best way, but apparently it is. Yeah, she actually is by far the most competent character.
Easily. Yeah. I actually don't understand the context for a scene in which she just talked to this very old, bumbling, horny old man.
Very horny man.
Wink.
That was actually one of my favorite parts of that scene is that he was very blatant, like, but she's very attractive, and then invites her to the bathroom with him to take a peek.
I don't know, but it was this scene that was, I have no idea why it was in there. But we are actually seeing Mortdecai be somewhat capable.
He's fundamentally unlikable, but at some point in this movie, he does prove himself useful by actually providing some intelligence that makes him actually useful for the plot, where he describes why the painting is so valuable.
Honestly, that was when I bought into the movie, is they give this whole backstory as to why, like, he figures out what the painting is, he figures out why it's important, he's able to tell MI5 what's going on, and it made sense. So that's when I started to enjoy it.
Yeah, but we are actually seeing Mortdecai be somewhat capable in very, very specific, like he goes to this art dealer and plays him very effectively.
There's a great deal of money involved.
What about art for art's sake, man?
Well, that's not his character. Oh, it just got sexy?
It's a strong word for it.
Although I guess he plays him into this guy sort of harassing him in a very uncomfortable
Weird
way.
Your protrusion. Might it be possible to swing the old fellow north, as it were?
Oh. Oh.
Who's the client?
Is he threatening him with his boner?
With his belly.
Is Johnny Depp getting sexually assaulted in this movie right now?
Yes.
There have been several car chases.
There's the terrorist.
Oh, Paul Bettany. Three bananas.
I'm alright. My little sproutling. Has it been compromised?
And the Russians.
The Russian oligarchs. So yeah, he gets kidnapped by some guy in the bathroom because...
Gosh. I'm gonna be honest, the bathroom humor in this movie is not my cup of tea. That was not meant to be a joke, it just like came out as one, so I apologize for that. But there's a lot of not funny jokes that happen.
I recently had a tooth pulled, and I had IV sedation, and this movie is making me feel like that brief moment of wooziness before I went out.
It's possible it makes you high.
And it's been like that for the last 54 minutes now.
And also we found the tagline that they're really trying to shove into this movie, which is open your balls.
Yeah, that involved the Russian torture scene, which again brought us back to bathroom humor that I was not about.
Balls.
Yeah, there's one guy who like...
I think he just says balls.
I think it's his...
Some permutation of the word balls is like his defining dialogue.
Not to wish ill on this guy and his career, but I hope that this is the only movie he's ever been in, and his only lines are, balls? No balls.
Yeah, at one point he does say no balls.
I hope that's just what he shows everyone. That's his
real. Yeah, that's all he needs, really.
I still love Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
I still love Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
Paul Bettany's is God.
He's great. He has some great, excellent, really, really cool action scenes and certain things that I haven't necessarily
It's not the fire
seen
punches
before.
from the beginning, which was my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, but you know, motorcycle with a sidecar, not bad.
They're in a motorcycle chase. Mortdecai is in the sidecar, and that happens a few times. And so Jock is like about to shoot out all 5 lights so they can escape the Russians, and he literally is like, a bit of noise, sir. Like, he warns him because he's so used to taking care of him.
Yeah.
And he knows that he needs it. So I actually think they have a kind of endearing relationship. It is very one-sided.
I mean, he has hit him with a car multiple times and shot him.
Multiple times.
Including an extended flashback of him getting 2 blasts of a shotgun at point blank range.
Yeah, that was impressive that he made it through that one.
When he was shooting out the lights, that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Pretty baller and smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are threads here that are starting to really stick, and I like that. All right, I think it's time to get back into it.
I am not an alcoholic. I am drunk. And there is a vast difference.
A vast difference. You heard it too?
God. So, I am starting to worry about my previous prediction because I'm not sure this movie is paying enough attention to actually have laid the steps for Gwyneth Paltrow to be the bad guy.
It's getting tougher. It's getting, but this is what we signed up for.
It is.
This is what we demanded. Like, we needed a movie that was gonna test us, and
oh good, oh joy, oh delight of my eye.
Mortdecai gets sent to America, California specifically, or as he calls the colonies.
Stop! Stop! Are you suggesting that I go to the colonies? Banish the vile thought.
So we find ourselves stateside. Woo! Courtesy of Virgin America Airlines.
they're like, Virgin Airlines is your airline.
Yeah. There's a prolonged transit across to the colonies. In which yes.
In which Mortdecai is introduced to the wonders of hotel keys and magnetic stripes.
So all I must do is show up, and I'm presented with a credit card. No wonder your country's in financial ruin.
Literally does not understand the difference between a hotel key and a credit card.
Sure.
Though there was odd product placement that I need to talk about real quick. The Standard Hotel.
Yep.
And it is the Standard, and if you've ever been to LA, you know the Standard.
Yeah.
There's a thing with a woman in a fishbowl. I don't know. It's gross. It's gross at the Standard.
Jock's gonna in that.
Yep.
In that.
Yep.
Sign.
Yeah, he's looking. He's
Checking in. Yeah, we're checking in.
But they agreed to their product placement, and then the movie calls it a concrete brothel, and I was like,
The rooms here are made of cement, very good in case of an air raid, but for those of us trying to get a bit of rest after an arduous crossing, a bit of acoustic nightmare.
That's weird that they did all this standard product placement and then wrapped all over it. Because they have paper thin walls. That is weird.
Good God, Jock! Put that thing away, man!
like who at the Standard was like, yes,
That's what
this
we wanna be known
we want to be known for having paper thin walls you can hear people screwing through.
For
And
having just women not wear clothing, because
well, that's the Standard anyway.
so maybe that's what the marketing team was thinking. Like, yeah, people come
So-
here
so-
for one reason. We get it.
Is that one scene of him thinking he is, entire movie, thinking he is such hot shit for having this mustache, flying to the States, and then being surrounded by Americans in every single grade of facial hair ever.
Yeah, including a man bun tied around there. That was a brilliant bit of visual.
Which, as the elevators close, all you hear is
One undeniably positive thing to me
Yeah.
that I realized in the last section is, and I'm going to use Napoleon Dynamite, I think is a really good example. I think Napoleon Dynamite is a hilarious film, but not really when you watch it. It's when your friends quote it later. You have to hear people quote it to like love it for some reason. And every time Sam does the gremlin thing, I lose my shit. So if Sam could just walk into a room and go, that's I will find this movie hilarious forever. So when you're watching it, pro tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
And it's so much of a pro tip that we actually see Jock do it as well.
Yes,
in the back of the
yes.
car. So like, it's not just us who find it funny. Clearly, somebody else did. And we also get introduced to Olivia Munn's character, who
She's trying very hard.
she is doing the best with what she is given.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
she looks really good doing it, such as she usually does.
So we have Olivia Munn writing in on one of the most gorgeous horses
Yes, riding,
I've ever seen.
but riding like this.
It's in a gorgeous satin shirt, which, again, costuming, fantastic, love it. But then the horse is gone.
She has a very expressive part. Like her
Yes.
part is giving her nothing, and she's finding ways to.
To make it entertaining and to make it like, I think she's actually a likable character.
I like Olivia Munn and I think everything I've ever seen. I love her on The Newsroom.
Yeah, oh, she's incredible. And I think that's why her character is being pulled off as well as it is, because she was given nothing. This character is just...
She's maybe less than nothing because she's insulted the second we meet her by her own dad.
You might have time to.
And it was okay.
Before dinner. She's been through half the staff already.
Wow.
It's just not a trope.
Say that about his own dog.
Yeah.
100 days.
Okay, just checking. Why is that an okay thing?
She does not treat herself very well.
It's okay. It's
No,
okay.
like,
We're gonna
I
get
have
through
so
this. We're
many
gonna get through
issues
this.
with But she doesn't treat herself well, and that means that other people don't treat her well, and this is a trope that I'm not on board with. But she really takes it in stride, and she, I think, gives this character nuance that no one thought it could possibly have.
The movie giveth and taketh away damn near immediately.
And I
Gives us, you know, good puppy humor. Puppy's gone. Puppy comes back, then the puppy's gone. Gives us Jeff Goldblum. takes him away.
Killing Jeff Goldblum like 5 minutes after he appears on screen.
He has literally a scene.
Actually, a crime.
It wounded me.
Yeah, it did.
The true crime of this film is Jeff Goldblum's part in it.
And it's him plot dropping.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know, everything that you might have suspected about who was messing with who, just exposition dump.
Oh, he had it the whole time.
The painting is in his own car?
That he just sold to him.
So he got played.
Yep.
Hard.
I was a mule.
That's a good
Brian
reveal.
called me when she discovered the Goya, and I called Spinoza, and then he arranged for everything, including the smuggling of the painting.
Bless you, Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, but someone found out about the plan.
I love Jeff Goldblum. I love Jeff.
Stiff as
So
Uncle Richard's
pretty.
hat, man.
I just.
And we still don't know what's going on entirely.
No, no one does. Including most of the characters. Like,
This section, I think, has lost me a little bit.
Oh, clearly.
And the-
That's okay.
the Mortdecai giveth and the Mortdecai
Taketh away.
My big issue with it, there's a lot of vomiting that happens, and that
Yeah, pro tip, they're
Which I'm not a fan of, because I've been eating chips all night, and it's just not sitting well.
my sister is a nurse,
yeah.
and she deals with a lot of babies and a lot of people puking and all this stuff. And like people actually puking is fine. She cannot watch people fake puke.
And we just
And this
watched
movie-
a lot of it.
Pushes the fake puke thing.
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot.
it does become a plot point at one stage.
Another car chase.
Sure, which is resolved in the most gross
Yeah.
possible fashion.
They stop the villain's car with vomit, which is really like a lot.
That's the thing about the tone in this movie. It's so slapstick, but it's so birth of Hollywood sort of slapstick.
A lot of work is done to put like all these characters in the same room.
Yeah.
But then they'll just have, so for example, like they seed the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow is going to fly to LA to come see Mortdecai. And we're like, we're not that surprised when she shows up. Like, oh, okay, she was going. That's it. But then Ewan McGregor shows up, and they're like, where'd you come from? And he's like, I followed you. And that's literally, there's no other like they just needed him in the room. Yeah. Ewan McGregor is the Steve Carell of the situation, because he keeps pulling out his gun and just pointing it at people, and it actually ends up resolving most issues. I don't understand. Oh yeah, and then he shoots Jeff Goldblum, who's already dead. Anyway.
There's a lot of physical comedy from everyone really but Johnny Depp. And not that Johnny Depp isn't doing some physical comedy that works, it's just everyone is so trying so hard all the time.
Yeah.
Because it is like a weird sort of black and white cinema slapstick sort of.
Yeah, and a lot of it is good, and some of it just falls completely.
Definitely a mixed bag.
It feels like they put them all in the same room and then gave them no blocking or direction and just told them to resolve it improv style, because there's this kind of halting, like, no, okay, he has the gun though.
Find a knife.
Something will happen and it will kind of Rube Goldbergian itself across the room because the climax, I guess, I don't know.
It's wonderful because they have to reveal the invisible ink, and so that requires a solution which is very flammable, but you also need to get flame near it. And of course that goes completely haywire.
It happened where like one thing led to 15 other things and always funny.
More of that, please. And then everything explodes, and boy, is that explosion a sight to behold.
Yes, what I can only describe as like the most convincing practical effects explosion that has ever been committed to film.
I felt warm. I felt like I was there.
It's a tough movie to watch, but
It is.
there's something there.
I
Somebody was like, "Oh, I get it. I want them to explain it to me."
yes,
Like-
over beers, but there is something there, and I think watching it with friends definitely allows that to come out more.
I'm having a
because-
great time.
Exactly. Like, it's fun to talk about with friends and to be equally as confused with them as I am with this movie.
This should not bug me as much as it does, but Jock's main character trait is that he all the
Yes!
time.
Yes!
Here, they put
So hard!
What?
He just came out of the bathroom and then that girl
Mile
did too.
High Club.
Sorry, there was a
Paul Bettany man. What?
Gary is a baby.
A new baby from married. Okay.
Undeniably.
We've seen this like 4 or 5 times now,
Indubitably.
and they haven't let it go.
Indefinitely.
And then there's Olivia Munn's character, who is literally solely described as a nymphomaniac.
Yes.
And as you can imagine, those two characters never interact. At
We
all.
still got plenty of movie left,
No,
honey
I'm
bun.
just saying that like they have a caper that involves like people distracting one another and stealing things from a billionaire's house. And the guy who a lot at no point is pointed in the direction of the nymphomaniac, and these plot lines they never touch. That's the crazy, like, even for a movie like this, I would have thought that those two things would have intersected. I don't know how it hasn't happened.
There's plenty of movie left.
So it's fun. It's not my favorite.
None of this is supposed to be. We're just
true.
supposed to walk away finding the value in the movie, and that's why I keep trying, because there's a physical presence to the film that doesn't line up with the costume design or the characters. Like, everything's kind of off.
Yeah.
And you need to find the way to sort of squeeze it back together, which I don't think anyone on Rotten Tomatoes did, because they're like, it's bad, which is a natural reaction.
Yeah.
Help us.
Yes. Release us from this prison.
woman lied from the start.
Painting with a paint.
She never found the Lost Goya. She painted it.
Of course.
Oh, the Ocean's 12 ending. Nothing happened.
He was trying to show me the real painting. The Duchess of Wellington is in Bunny School.
Thank you for telling us, because otherwise...
Okay, that was funny. When it just crashed into the letters.
Really like that.
That's really good.
So we just finished the movie Mortdecai.
Wow. Where do I begin?
That was a motion picture that I saw with my eyes.
As you can tell, I am wearing my Pitch Perfect Mortdecai cosplay. I treasure it. Okay. Yeah. So here we go.
I thought that movie was going to be smarter than it was, and I don't know why I thought that.
When we were talking through ideas on how to do this show, I mean, we knew it was going to run up against some walls to be able to take any film and then divine the joy from it. We knew we were going to be challenged. We didn't know we would be challenged this greatly, this early.
When Mikey suggested doing this series, I didn't fully understand what it meant, because, you know, I don't tend to watch movies often, let alone movies that are known to be bad.
I watched Mortdecai, and I lived. This is so good. It feels like I don't know, like this must be what bungee jumping feels like. This must be what skydiving feels like. It's kind of thrilling that we were able to kind of come out the other side and be able to say, hey, we did that.
So I find this fascinating in the way that we go into this movie night wanting to find the best in these movies. We try our best, and we manage to find a lot of good things.
It is a difficult film, and it's not about saying there is or isn't value. There definitely is. There's funny parts.
And there were some really funny moments, like genuinely funny moments in this movie.
Callbacks to the mustache gag reflex.
I forgot about it.
Gwyneth Paltrow throwing up every time she has to kiss Johnny Depp, always good. Make that the whole movie.
The callbacks to the is everything going to be fine? What do I know? And everything was fine in the end.
I will never forget that every time Gwyneth Paltrow kisses Johnny Depp, she throws up. When anybody says what was funny in Mortdecai, I'll be like, oh, every time Gwyneth Paltrow had to kiss Johnny Depp, she went, ugh, which is infinitely funny forever.
Set design and the costume design were exquisite.
Look at her outfit. She's very cute.
She is like to the nines.
The fact that she's wearing riding pants. Oh,
Well,
oh, that could be an issue.
Well, The water bailiff won't bother him now.
There was this undercurrent the whole time of, as Mikey pointed out earlier, callback to an earlier time of silent movies where pratfalls and physical comedy were king.
So there were parts in which, small ones, in which the movie kind of was successful.
I got the sense that everyone involved with making that movie enjoyed the process of it. Probably a lot more than the people who had to pay to see it.
I definitely think that that is not a movie that could have been made where somebody wasn't having fun on set.
That being said, I don't think this movie knows what likable is.
But to get to the actual movie, it was mean-spirited. There were so many times in the film where we shouted, "No, what?"
Because there's a lot of astonishing cruelty.
It goes there, fair warning, it's gonna go places you're not gonna feel that comfortable.
It was a thing that happened. It was not pleasant as a movie, it was pleasant as an experience.
I overall enjoyed the movie, except for various moments of potty humor.
And yet, I must find a way to pay $8 million in back taxes.
Quite.
Wouldn't Nazi gold be convenient?
Quite a conundrum.
We're just staring at her
I
ass.
don't know to see this through, I'm afraid.
Yes, do think. Just bear in mind I'm standing on a loo holding a dead man's Goya.
Or just meanness that happened in it.
Some of Mortdecai's one-liners are truly bad at best.
I was not squeezing the breasts.
And at worst, incriminating.
This may be a customary greeting in America. I don't know.
I learned more about what I expect from films and the quality that I've learned to expect from those films.
I'm happy that it happened.
I don't know what to think of this movie other than to say it seemed like they had fun making it.
But that's okay. There was value, and you are watching this show not necessarily to see if we're gonna love everything and try to spin everything, because that's not what this is about. You're watching us be tortured. We were.
I will not be watching it again. I will hopefully forget that this incident ever happened, and with any luck, I have not been recording my exploits of watching it, and it will not be on the internet for everyone to see.
But there was funny stuff, and I got to hang out with people I love and my friends, and that's always good.
I enjoyed watching it with my friends. I enjoyed laughing at it and being confused by it and sharing that experience with everybody and some red velvet Oreos.
So at the very least, some folks got enjoyment out of it. It ended up a thing in a box, and if it is something that can bring someone joy, then who are we to say no?
But it is not so bad it's good. This movie is so bad that it is... Exactly.
Next time on Deep Dive.
Bit of a curveball here, sort of a surprise if you will. I'm gonna go into the dive box real quick and pull out a little movie for next time, because we're not actually gonna select next time, but we are gonna watch Ghost of Mars.